What up, though, y'all? It's Chris. Appreciate you connecting with me. I'm at the mall getting some steps in. I'm pretty high up there on the steps, so I think the action I'm doing at the mall is probably gonna get me there. Well, most likely above, because I was already in the 8,000s before I even came out here. But shout out to you guys, my subs. Thanks for riding along with me. The road to 5,000. Slow and steady. Slow motion's better than no motion. Let's get into the topic, man. Jamie Foxx. Remember last year around April, he had a bit of a medical emergency. And he's been pretty tight-lipped about it. Even after his recovery, he hasn't talked too much about it. And honestly, I don't think he was going to talk about it until Netflix wrote him a check and provided enough zeros to get him to open up about it. So he did a comedy special, and he dropped some shocking information, that's for sure. He said that ultimately, and I might be paraphrasing a little bit, so I'm gonna try to stick to what I had heard in it. It's on Netflix now, by the way. But he had this really bad headache. He wanted an aspirin, and he was out. And he says the doctor told his sister that he had a brain bleed that led to a stroke. That's scary, man. Like, really. That's the sort of stuff that I'm always worried about why I'm such an advocate for health and fitness. Because as black men, I think we face that sort of stuff. We're more at risk of it than any other group because how badly we eat. You know, I mean, that's really what it comes down to, how badly we eat. Now, I don't know what Jamie's diet is. I don't know what his fitness routine is, anything like that. For him, this could be something that he really couldn't avoid. So I'm not going to presume that he wasn't taking care of himself and that this happened as a result. I'm just saying that we're, as a people, at much higher risk because categorically we eat worse than everyone else. Categorically, we go to the doctor less than everybody else. Categorically, we don't exercise as much as everybody else. And when you have too many things categorically that you do worse than everybody else, you can't be surprised that you're getting a worse result in terms of health than everybody else is. So he had a brain bleed that led to a stroke, man. I was completely blown away. And then, get this part. He says that 20 days of his life, he has no recollection of. He has no memory of. That's scary, man. It makes me shudder just even thinking about that because I'm not some huge Jamie Foxx fan. I never have been. But I recognize what a talent he is. You know, he's good at comedy. He's good at singing. He's good at acting. You know, he's very much a triple threat. And he's able to do all those things really well. You know, there's not a whole lot of people that can do what he does. He's really a special kind of talent. So even though I may not be a big fan of his, I appreciate what he is. And just to learn from him that his time was almost cut short, that's just so scary, man. You don't have to be a big fan of somebody as a movie star or something like that to be able to empathize with them on a human level. You know, I don't like seeing stuff like that happening to people. And remember, when he came out of the situation, because we didn't know what it was that he faced. But what we did know is that it was a fight for his life. Because remember, he lost all that weight. He lost a bunch of weight. He kind of had the lumpy face. I don't know what causes that, but a lot of times when people lose a lot of weight really fast, their face is kind of lumpy, kind of uneven. He had that going on. So he wasn't looking well. He got back to work immediately, though. I was very impressed. he got back to work right away when he came out of it. It's like as soon as he was able to resume his obligations that I'm assuming he already had in place, he jumped right back out there. So he didn't miss a beat. But damn, man, a stroke. We got to do better, man, as folks. And I'm not saying him, because again, I don't know how well he takes care of himself or not, so I can't speak to that. But I do know that us categorically, as black folks, especially black men, we don't take care of ourselves well enough. And for my black men that are providers, it's even more imperative that you make those doctor's appointments, that you go get your labs done. Because if you're the main provider for your family, if something happens to you, what happens to them? I'm gonna go sit over here. If something happens to you, what happens to them? You gotta ask yourself that. And I'm guilty of this myself. I'm not gonna sit up here and pretend like I'm not. I'm guilty of this myself. I too gotta get in there in the doctor and start getting my stuff taken. You know, like I had high blood pressure. I shared that with you guys. And I need to really get that under control. I mean, I started making changes to lower it. You know, I kind of cut out salt, did away with fried foods, just, you know, increased my activity, you know, doing the 10,000 steps. That too was a step towards trying to get my health, you know, together and get my blood pressure under control. So just do what you can, man. Understand we're not invincible, and you're more susceptible to things happening when you're unhealthy. It's not like if you're in perfect shape, stuff won't happen. It will. You're still susceptible to stuff, just not as susceptible. And when you do get sick and you're healthier, you have a better chance at fighting the stuff off. So I'm telling you guys, man, if you've been neglecting your health, please stop. Stop neglecting your health. I got to do the same. I'm not only preaching this, I'm going to practice it. I'm going to set up and go to the doctor really soon, this upcoming week. I've got different stuff to do the rest of this week. But this upcoming week, I'm going to go to the doctor. I'm going to also see about this. I'm going to show you guys this. Let me share this with you guys real quick. I've got this lump on my wrist here. Let me slide that down. It's a cyst. Now, I had surgery to remove it before, and the doctor did a horrible job. He removed it, but he didn't make the necessary changes in there so that the cyst wouldn't come back. And basically, I was left with an ugly scar. I also lost some feeling in my hand behind this. So as a result, I've been reluctant about going back to the doctor to see about it again, now that it's come back. But I'm going to go ahead and do it. See, I didn't want the time off from the gym. I knew if I went and got the surgery done for this again, I was going to be off the gym like 3-4 weeks. And I'm trying to do this whole winter arc thing, and I just didn't want to do that. But nah, man, I'm going to go ahead and do it. That stuff with Jamie really hit me. It really got me thinking. We got to do better. We're taking care of ourselves. I'm going to go in next week and get my vitals done, get the updated information on my blood pressure, and I'm going to just make changes from there. We have to do better as men, not just black men. We have to do better as men with taking care of ourselves. We don't go to the doctor enough, and that's because we want to be Superman. We don't like to be told that something's wrong with us, and we don't like to be seen as being vulnerable. I get it. I'm totally the same way. We got to break out of that stuff. Because as I said, if something happens to us, who is going to take care of the people that we leave behind? So for that reason, we got to be better about that. We got to swallow our pride, put the ego aside a little bit, and go see about ourselves. It's not about being vulnerable. It's not about appearing vulnerable. It's about longevity so that we're there for the people that we care about. So I hope this message lands for whoever needed to hear it. I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.